Alright, so we are going to complete VFR navigation today. We're going to do the last two segments, the arrival, follow VFR procedures to land, and the first solo navigation, complete an entire VFR flight on your own. So for the arrival, it goes like this. Last part of navigation is arriving to destination. In this lesson, we'll see how to integrate the circuit or traffic pattern of an uncontrolled airport. Start by fly over the airport at not less than 500 feet above the circuit height. In this case, fly at 8,500 feet to identify the active runway. Then turn left and descend to the circuit altitude of 8,000 feet and fly over the runway again to integrate left downwind of the runway 21. So you're coming in at 8,500 feet. At 80 knots, we're going to turn, bring it back over. When we get to the downwind segment, we're going to stay at 80 knots. We're going to lower flaps 10%. We're going to turn a base leg at 65 knots, lower to 77, turn on final, and adjust our flaps as we come in, probably to full. But trying to maintain our descent rate and our knots there. Okay, here we are at we're going to Flagstaff Pulliam, KFLG. We're at runway elevation 6994 feet, average mean sea level, runway slope 0, time 6:24 p.m. Indicated airspeed 86 knots, heading at 332, altitude of 8,500 feet, average mean sea level, and the wind was, what's the wind again? 215.01 at 2 knots. So let's check this out.
Flagstaff Airport is right in front of us, and we're currently at 8,500 feet. That's 500 feet above the standard traffic pattern. It's a good altitude to avoid interfering with aircraft already in the pattern. Proceed above the terrain, making sure you maintain our current altitude.
Alright, so we got to maintain this at 8,500 feet. We're going to fly over the runway. We're going to turn around while maintaining this altitude and this airspeed. And then we'll descend. So it's important to listen to what she says, because last time I tried this, I started descending right away. But we nail this, and we basically have our VFR pilot's license. I mean, not this, just this approach. Then we're going to have to do our solo VFR navigation, takeoff to landing. That will get us the license. Just saw the gauges switch over, so we're basically over the airport now. But we're going to go right to this marker and then let her give us the extra information.
We're going to land on runway 21, coming from the right to the left. We'll be following a left-hand traffic pattern as we did in Sedona. Ready? Reduce speed to 80 knots and start a turn to the left toward a 120-degree heading. Start descending to 8,000 feet, still maintaining 80 knots. You'll enter the pattern in the middle of the downwind leg for runway 21.
I'll set altitude 8,000 feet. Oh, okay, so
got clearance to enter the downwind leg and land on runway 21. Keep your attitude, then follow the standard pattern. traffic pattern until landing, as you learned previously.
Alright. That could have been a little better. It was a little ugly. We got 10 degrees flaps. I was a little late on the descent. I didn't know she was telling us we could descend yet. Quarter nautical mile. Is 65 knots. Okay. Not great, but not terrible either. Coming in a little high. Lost our airspeed there. Alright, now we're pretty much lined up for the final. I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know what kind of grade she's going to give us.
Great integration.
Well, that sounds better than I would have thought. Hey! Wow, I don't know. I thought it was a little sloppy. It goes to show you with this stuff, I don't know what she's going to do. All right, fly over the airport, we got that. That was obvious pretty well. Integrate the traffic pattern, follow to get heading, keep your speed. Yeah, I thought I was a little sloppy there. And I was a little bit. Complete base leg, keep your speed around 65. That was pretty good. Land, maintain the guide scope and alignment, keep your speed at 65, flare and brake close to runway center line. Yeah, I was a little sloppy there as well, but I came out with an A. So we're going to take that and we're going to go back to training venue. And we're going to do our solo. And wrap things up there. What does that entail? It's the return trip from your previous lesson. She'll be departing Flagstaff Pulliam Airport, handling every navigational step on your way to Sedona. After the takeoff, take a safe altitude of 8,500 feet, 500 feet above the circuit height, and fly over the runway to start your navigation from an unknown location. Choose whatever method of navigation you're competent with to reach Munns Park Golf Course, Dead Reckoning, Landmark, Navigation, or both. Once you've reached your destination, fly over to Sedona Airport at 6,500 feet to identify the active runway, then descend to 6,000 feet to integrate the downwind of the runway 21. Follow the traffic pattern and keep the speed at 65 knots during the final approach, flare and land, and brake close to the runway center line. Alright, so Flagstaff. out to Munns Park. I was gonna follow the highway. And then turn out to Sedona, 6,500, 8,500, 6,500, 6,000 on the pattern, runway 21, 65 knots. All right, here we are on the airfield on the runway, hovering slightly above it, but let's give this a shot.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
You are going solo on a full VFR flight. From takeoff to touchdown, it's all you. You'll be departing Flagstaff Pulliam Airport, handling every navigational step on your way to Sedona. It's the return trip from your previous lessons. You'll be flying over the same landmarks. You remember them? The highway, Munns Park Golf Club. Choose whatever you're confident with. Dead reckoning, landmark navigation, or both. This is what you've trained for. Just remember everything you've learned. And most of all, enjoy the ride.
Okay, runway 3, then I guess we're gonna make a left turn out of here, presumably. Alright, so let's do this. I'm gonna hold the brakes, go 50% power, and then let go of the brakes. We're gonna jump up, climb out at 75 knots. I do not have flaps out. I don't need them. Little blemish there in the runway. Higher altitude here, so it takes a little bit longer to get going. Got to pick up some airspeed here. We're climbing on out. Flagstaff off our nose there. Gotta maintain 75 knots. Why? I thought I was within 5 knots. This could take a while, given the rate at which we're climbing here. I gotta get to 7,500 feet before I turn, I think. I am full throttle too. There's Flagstaff. Which you're used to seeing in a truck simulator. Alright, I'm gonna start a turn. Stay within the radius of the airport. Well, yeah, here's Flagstaff right over here. Highway going through town. Center of the town. You can sell goods down there. Gallon oil. I want to get to 8,000 feet before I turn back toward the airport. Here's Western Flagstaff. It's just a slow climb because of the altitude. Airport's back there. Alright, gonna begin my turn back toward the airport and hopefully complete this climb. I'm going to try and go with the runway center line. We're going to get to 8,500 feet before we hit the airport. Sorry, I'm not very talkative. I'm making sure I'm ticking all the boxes, you know what I mean? I'm half paying attention to the fact that I'm talking. There we go. At 2,300 RPM. I'll go a little over 23. Right over the runway center, and then we're outbound. Start the stopwatch. Oh boy, okay. Alright, so stopwatch is going. What is it supposed to be, like 6 or more minutes outbound? Park 6.5 or almost 7 minutes. Unless, I mean, maybe we're supposed to be going slightly left of the highway. It's going to be on the left side of the highway, so we don't want to go too far outbound on the right. I can see the highway pointing at about this spot right there. That's what we're going to aim at. I need a little bit more altitude to maintain the 8,500 knots. Or 8,500 feet, I should say. Like we're doing okay. Like we're fairly well trimmed out. Airport right behind us. Some homes and other buildings off our left. We're left of the highway. We're at 8,500 feet. We are at 2,300 RPMs. I think I can put this away for now. Got like 4 more minutes. Probably gotta check it again. Still going 75 knots, but working on my trim here. Try and make up some time. Man, I'm in a bit of a seesaw here. Going up and down. I think if I could set my trim forward a little bit more there. I could descend a good amount here. And get some speed. Forward pressure on the yoke to keep from coming back up. I'll leave it with the trim wheel. Pull it back a little bit. There we go. That's about right. Maybe a very slight descent. Got a speed of 85 knots now. We're looking for Munns Park. We're going to be, well, 3 more minutes. So yeah, if we pass this check ride, we're basically got our VFR pilot's license. And or I should say renewed it, because I've flown so much with Matt. I got back, I think it was Microsoft Flight Sim 2000 or the 2004. I went through, I got the private pilot's license, and you used to be able to print off a little certificate, which was kind of cool. And then I went through and did the IFR flight training for instrument flight rules, and that was cool, although difficult. And once again, you know, the issue was that there was a certain expectation which they laid out in the rules, or in, you know, in what you were doing, but it was slightly vague, just vague enough for me to miss what they needed a couple times, which had me doing over and over again until finally I'm like, oh, finally I got it with the step down descent and everything. But I got it. So technically I got these licenses some time ago, but this would be a, you know, recertification or whatnot. So I think Munns Park is like right ahead of us here. I think that's it, right off the front left edge of my cowl. Like I'll put my cursor like right here. I think that's it. Like I could straighten out and we should be on track for it. That is a golf course, and it looks like a Munns Park golf course. Yep, as expected. And then we take a turn I think down there. I think Sedona's down in the valley there. So we're gonna need to listen to our instructions once we hit this waypoint. And maintain all of these assigned altitude, whatnot. We are well trimmed, people. This must be Munns Park. For all the people who work at the resorts down in Sedona. The good people of Munns Park. Restart the stopwatch. I guess now I'm going off of just memory. Yeah, I think at this point it's just memory. And it's right down there. Maintaining 8,500 feet. 222. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm pointing right at it. Yeah, so it's basically down there. We're going to maintain 8,500 feet until they tell me to start my descent. It's actually 2-3. But yeah, that's it. We got the sun going down. So it's closing in on 7 o'clock p.m. We'll be eating at a resort restaurant for dinner, celebrating the VFR rating, pilot license. Save for thought for time. 4 minutes 44 seconds. So is my nav set to that? Well, there's the airport. But I'm going to enter the downwind. I just don't know when she's going to tell me to start making my descent. So I didn't know that Sedona was so close to Flagstaff. There we go. Okay, descend to 6,500 feet, 80 knots. Trying to descend at 500 feet per minute. Fly over runway center. $80 knots? Is that what it said? $6,500. Maybe I'll go a little faster. Descent. We're at 7,500. We need to get down. We want to be over runway center at 6,500 feet. And we're just now at 7,000 feet, a mile out. Like we're getting dinged on this. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, we're going to get there at 6,500 feet. To 6,000 feet. Okay. Left heading 120. Knots. I'm trimming. $65 knots. Okay, I gotta maintain my 65 knots. I should be coming in faster. Alright. I don't think it was bad. Wasn't great, but we'll see. Hopefully. Hopefully we get the A. Find out soon.
Wow, great job.
Well, that's good. That sounds good.
Some people say the sky's the limit. I say, it's just the beginning.
A. Yeah. Yeah, babies. We did it. Oh my gosh. Climb to 8,500 feet, maintain these 75 knots. I did horribly. I got like half the points at that. I did not climb, but you know, I was full throttle. Maintaining 75 knots, it just took me forever to get there. Prepare for navigation. Fly over the runway center. Keep your altitude at 8,500 feet at all possible points. Navigate to Munns Park. Reach Munns Park with an estimated time while maintaining 500 feet. I did pretty well. Reach Sedona Airport. Estimated time maintaining 500 feet. I just lost 1 point. Enter traffic pattern. Fly over the runway at 6,500 feet. Descend to 6,000. Integrate the traffic pattern. Pretty good at that. And then again, like half the points of landing. Follow standard altitudes, headings, and speeds of the traffic pattern. Maintain glide scope alignment. Keep speed at 65 knots. Flare, land, brake close. Yeah, all that approach is pretty sloppy, pretty ugly. But it got me the A. So pretty great. All right, cool. Thanks for watching, folks. So we've done basic handling. We've done takeoffs and landing. We've done our VFR navigation. So we are now VFR private pilots. As far as the game recognizes, there's glider training, airliner training, bush pilot, and IFR navigation. So I don't know what we'll do next. Maybe we'll just go down the list. Maybe next we'll do glider pilot. Unpowered sailplanes experience the wonder of soaring. Yeah, but why would you do airliner trailer? Well, maybe I'll do glider, and then we'll do IFR, then bush pilot, and then airliner stuff. All right, as far as training goes. All right, so thanks for watching, folks, and we'll catch you on the next one. Now, pretty soon, drive-in tomorrow night, I believe, American Truck Sim, and then after that, finally, B-Will's back in town in Phoenix. So stay tuned for that. Thanks. Good night. Bye.